This episode of the Divorce Club Aftermath is brought to you by Rano.
Welcome to the Divorce Club Aftermath, and I'm your host, Coach David. I'm so glad you could join me tonight, and we are just about to review the last episode of the Divorce Club, and I know if you're watching it, your comments must have been something, yeah? It was a pretty intense episode. But joining me in the studio today, is a new panel. I'm so glad I could have two new people and the regular Bish Eddie.
It's a joy to be on the set, and whoa, this is intense.
But before I say anything, don't you like my new set?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love it.
I love the art.
At first I thought that was me in the back there. But no. Well, joining me in the studio today is a new panel, and on my right is Siku. Siku, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, David. Hello, everyone. My name is Siku, like you heard. I wear so many badges, but today I decided to just be your guest. And I'm glad to be here. It's quite refreshing and intense at the same time.
All right, and new to the show is it Mwila?
Aileti.
Aileti. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, I
Aileti.
need to get that right.
Yeah.
Aileti. Thank you for
Aileti.
joining us today.
Yeah, thank you
Tell
so
us a bit about yourself.
My name's Aileti Perry. I'm married with 3 kids.
Okay.
I'm one of the youngest matron, I must say, in Zambia.
You're
kitchen
a matron.
Party.
Okay, this is
That's
interesting.
kitchen party matron.
Kitchen party matron.
Yes, I'm one of the youngest kitchen party matrons. I get to teach young ladies.
Okay.
I do MC wedding MC. I also do kitchen parties.
All right.
But mostly it's kitchen parties.
Okay. Did you watch the previous episode of the Divorce Club?
Oh, yes, I did.
I'm excited. I want to hear your thoughts because I almost told the producer we must turn it into the Divorce Club Fight Club, the Divorce Fight Club, because it just keeps getting intense every weekend. Siku, did you watch the show?
I watched the show, and I think for the first few minutes, I was like, oh, wow, oh, yay. And as it went on, like I said, I wear so many badges. All these things kept clicking in my head. I'm thinking, okay, that's one low broken, that's another low broken, that's another low broken, and then I started having a headache.
Okay, let's talk about the show.
Okay.
There's a situation with Collins.
Right.
Collins, his wife Helen, and featuring Niger, her gym trainer. Very, very interesting. I'm
We
gonna
always
come to
have
that.
problems with gym people,
With gym
eh?
trainers. Women should stop going to the gym.
We will stay fat, hallelujah.
sexy.
Okay,
Like
but
his
what do we
body-
do? There's a situation like that. Who does Collins believe? Between his wife, the rumors from his family, and what he's seeing, who does he choose to believe?
I think at the moment it's a bit confusing. It's a situation where you don't believe your wife because you've just had it in your head to say, my wife is a cheat.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely don't believe your wife.
Bish, how do you deal with such issues? A man is hearing rumors of his wife having extramarital affairs.
Primarily, when I deal with marital counseling, the first line of trust really is your spouse. Unless proved otherwise, whenever your partner comes and you hear rumors from, even if it's your relatives, friends, or people, just trust your husband or your wife. So Colin's first line should have been, I trust you. And no,
Yeah.
It's one of the pillars of any relationship. It's love, it's trust, and it's communication. And I repeat, trust is not a gift. You're not just given. And you can't just meet a stranger and they say, trust me with 10,000. You're a fool
What?
if you give away that. All right?
It's
you
earned.
have to earn it.
Yes, thank you.
So it's earned trust. So that question, I like from the onset be able to say, Collins should have trusted his wife.
His wife.
But then we have a situation where the rumors and the family members were coming with evidence.
One thing I'll tell you about marriages is that once this one said this, no, that one said that about your wife. Once you start listening to those people, then trust issues come in. You are shaking your home at that time.
Sorry, I'm keeping my phone here, not because I'm expecting calls, but because I was taking notes and my notebook was too far, so.
Okay.
I heard him say, even before we got married. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was already a sign. And a lot of times, I'm sure, Bishop, even in your work, you know that as women, as men, when we're coming together, we ignore the red flags. We think they're red roses.
That's a good one.
You think they're red roses?
The red flags are red
Red
roses.
flag.
Yes, we get into these relationships. You would be going out with this guy. Oh, there's this girl, this guy is hitting out with this one. Oh, this girl is hitting out with this one. You still go ahead because you want to please society.
Yeah.
You want people to say, oh, that's a married woman. Oh, that's a married man. We forget the first thing that we're supposed to do when we get into this marriage, this commitment. Trust, put God first, not our way. It's okay, even if she's for the club, she's gonna change.
No, I think that was the mistake Collins made because he heard. And he heard rumors, you get. So the first
Before
thing...
they got married.
Before they got
married.
married. And he also mentioned that they used to date and they broke up. And so they had a history. He knew that history, you get. And the way they related, he should have known. He should have known better. But he made one mistake that a lot of us make. I can't even blame him.
What is that?
No.
That is ignore. I already said picking the red roses and picking the red flags and thinking they're red roses. You get, and you tell yourself she's going to change, or he's going to change. It's going to get better.
But of course, some people do change, yeah?
Okay, yeah, because I was going to go there. Because what happens, this is a situation, let's say, she met Niger after she got married to Collins. Right. And then now she's in the same space as Niger. Does she ignore him? Does she go about her day? I mean, what happens when you come in a situation where you're in contact with your ex?
Oh, come on. They're called ex for a reason.
But you go to the gym and he's the instructor. Are you going to...
So here it is. So listen.
Stop going there?
So my thing is, are you telling me you live in space you never met your exes?
Well...
We're not going to live like that. You get? You break up? You have broken up. If you know you have a weak point, you understand? I think you tread not where the shine, that's Banja Bishop, where the spirit does not go. Something like that. You get?
Yeah.
So let's be real with God.
Come on.
I will be very honest.
Yeah.
Okay? I will know an ex of mine, and I know that guy is my weak point. And I make it, Muntwanga, I cannot be in your...
Space.
No. Yes. But if you're going to lie to yourself and say, I will be
out
okay.
there who will just be friendly.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is
family?
she should have known better to know that I have history and I have a weak point for him.
True.
So I will stay. You have to love you and the person you're with and respect them enough to not cross that boundary.
Okay.
So she should have known. I mean, if I get into the gym and I see my ex and I know I have a weak point, I should have the brain to say, I am not supposed to be here.
Okay.
It's not the only gym place.
From what I think is, that man. Okay, I can be
Which one? Collins or
Collins. Collins can be some women. Even if you don't want, but as you know, some men push their ladies to cheat on them.
Wow. So you think Collins pushed
It's not right to cheat. It's not. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do.
This is interesting.
But I'm just saying, it's the way you're being treated at home.
Okay.
The only mistake that we make as Zambians is we always teach ladies first, especially when it comes to marriages. We always forget to say, you understand?
Exactly.
Okay.
We ignore that fact to say they are both going to live in the same house. If we are to teach this one, let's also teach the other one how to behave towards that one. Not those
So in your view, Helen's cheating with Niger is justified?
No, it's not. It's not. No matter how many difficulties you face in marriage, cheating can never be the solution. But there are those weak girls.
I think
fall for the trap.
I think so. First of all, I did say I wear a lot of badges. So I saw I saw the whole GBV act come down.
Oh my word!
Yes, I mean there's so much violence in that video.
So much.
We're talking about children who have no business to be on live video. You get? Okay. Yes. And it's traumatizing for the children. Did you see how he was grabbing the wife?
I didn't like that part.
So for me, that's a point where my headache
began.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's very violent. Okay,
much.
he's very emotionally abusive. He's very verbally
Language.
abusive. His language is
He
bad.
can say anything, and it's like the woman
kept
is using
on
say,
calling
"My
her
husband,
names."
you are a
Okay,
fool. My
I think
husband.
I'm getting Collins is getting a lot of backlash.
A lot
from
of
the woman.
bashing.
So
Bad,
bitch,
bad,
tell
bad.
me. So look, the man was doubting whether his wife. He's actually doubting his children.
Right.
If the children are his,
Right.
is his outburst justified?
No, I want to be able to say his reaction outburst is not justified.
Okay.
The moment you get into verbal abuse, did you hear how he was
Those- we can't
pronouncing
even
the
say-
words?
Yeah.
You know, I
We can't
can.
even say
Please
that.
don't say them.
Don't say the word.
This is PG-13, so please don't say them.
Don't say
here.
the word. I grew up on the copper belt, you know. There was a way somebody called you a dog that made you feel painful, you know. Somebody would come and say, Olimboa.
But they,
And it hurts. That's the way he was saying some words. Like,
and there's just something about
verbally
abusive.
abusive, verbally abusive, physically abusive.
Yes.
And but let me save some Collins here.
Okay.
He's a terrible guy, but let me be that devil's advocate right here. This gentleman is also traumatized. I think he's beginning to think, as he later discovers that some of the children in his home are not his very own. And so, without justifying his reaction, I think he was going through some pain. He needed counseling before getting to this particular point, so that he sat over and counseled that, you know, there's going to be results. If you demand for DNA,
You have to be ready.
you
for it.
gotta be ready
Okay.
for any results.
So I have a question. You talked about trust before, right? So
Right.
when you get into marriage, you should trust.
Right.
But we don't live in a perfect world. So
Yes.
we do know every Jim and Jack, male and female.
You
all
see,
have
you
a-
see what happened there. I think he got into that marriage thinking this lady someday, God willing, will change.
Should change.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, he gets into this marriage, but then he doesn't trust his wife. So he begins to demand for a DNA test. And from Helen's perspective, he had been demanding
From
for
the
a-
get-go.
From the get-go.
Yeah,
First child DNA test, second child DNA test.
So-
Is it a must now that men should demand for DNA tests from their children, even if they're married?
So, look here. The first thing, I think we said this, okay? Bish mentioned it. If you don't have trust, there's no need to continue.
But then, look.
So he's in
people
that
do change
marriage.
in marriage. Are we gonna ignore
God
the
is
fact
in
that
the
people
business
change?
of changing people.
Amen.
I like that we like to convince ourselves, like, I'm going to change him.
No.
No, but what I mean change is not change from bad behavior to good. I mean, some people can go from good to bad.
Exactly.
You're
And I
right?
still say it's God's business.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
So if
So
it's
listen.
God's business, should a man demand for a DNA test without any animosity?
You have a right.
One thing I
but
would
why,
ask- one thing I wanted to bring out again is the first child you demand for a DNA test. You still hold on to that marriage. You think it's okay, it's all right. What will people think if I dump this woman and all? Another child.
You demand
You
another
demand DNA test.
So
It's still there.
Yeah, and she's sorry, but I don't have
Third
a problem.
child.
Now, your question, should we be going that particular direction? Firstly, the moment you're asking for DNA, it is a show of lack of trust.
Exactly.
Between you and me, don't tell everybody watching.
Really?
They are men raising other
Children
people.
that are never-
I was going to come to that,
Yeah.
Vish, because, I was going to come to that because there's other men that are raising other men's kids.
Right.
All right. They trust their wives and they think my wife can't do this to me.
Right.
But he doesn't know that the DNA, the blood flowing in that child's body is not his. So should men demand for
by
a
law,
DNA test?
there's nothing stopping you to do a DNA test.
Okay.
There's
Vish,
no law
would you
stopping
advise-
you
Would you advise
to do
couples-
that. But like he said, it means you already have issues.
You already
Yes.
have issues. Because
Yes.
from nowhere, say I go home and someone just says, I want a DNA test for this second child. Then I'm like, huh?
Listen,
So there could be something leading to that.
listen, men watching, I don't encourage you to get DNA tests. Every man listening to me, look at me and look at this face.
Yeah.
You don't trouble yourself. You're gonna get some heart attacks and things like that. Mbemba, We are matrilineal. The chiefs are appointed by our mothers for a purpose.
Exactly.
Because where I come from, they say only the mother knows who the father is. All right? So even culturally, all right, we let lying dogs lie. And so the
You are a bishop. I want to shake your hand.
I am very interested. I particularly feel like my viewers right now do not agree with this right now.
But he has a valid point. You understand? We have matrilineal and we have patrilineal
Are you saying
lines.
this because you're a woman? I mean, okay, are you saying this because you're a woman?
Okay, by the way, which camera is mine? Those are your children. All right? We're not doing a DNA.
No.
So, I don't care if they don't look like you or your ancestors.
They are your
Even
children.
about how it's done.
Okay.
Now, we are matrilineal and patrilineal, like he was saying, for a reason, because our forefathers knew the intricacies of choosing whose child is whose. And the only person that really knows, they lie in here.
Okay.
They lie in here. Do you know you could actually have twins, mumala, but sharing different fathers?
Okay.
Scientifically proven. It's very possible. So that's how we are very the Garden of Eden. You must know we're sophisticated like that. But the point is
I can't wait to read my viewers' comments because
my point is the minute you're going to ask for a DNA test on a serious note, then you already have problems.
Yeah.
So-
It should not have escalated to this point. The first time he thought, I need a DNA test, he should have sat with his wife. I have this problem, all right? And I need you to put my mind to rest.
Okay.
Can we do a DNA test?
Yeah.
You get? And for a wise woman, I didn't expect that she would allow it a second time.
Second time, yeah.
Because if you're going to suspect...
it was never
But
addressed
also,
in the
she
first
allowed
place.
it, probably. She let it be because maybe she knew what she was doing. You get? I hope that is allowed on this set, that word. But you can't just be saying certain things and you don't have backing. You get?
Yeah.
Let me know. I made a note that she was very calm.
Yeah.
When it started,
yes,
she was very calm, very mature. I was like, she's born of a different woman. You're not going to be pointing at me. And she's a good woman.
She
I'm
is
very
a
surprised
very,
that
very
Helen
good
is a
woman.
hero on the show today.
Only because...
She is not. She is not.
Bish,
Only
the floor.
doing Collins a favor right now.
I think it's like, if you knew what I knew, you wouldn't say so much.
Okay,
get-
so are you trying to tell me that with where the story is going, I know we've got episode 2 that's going to air next week for this story, but are you telling me that despite the results that come out, Helen should stay put, Colin should stay put, raise those kids, and the marriage should continue?
First things first, I think they all need to come see me. I am serious. They need to come see me. I'm not going to say my badge because my boss is going to kill me. But you give them my number. They will find me. They need counseling. That's one thing.
Yes, I agree
If
with
nobody is suing for GBV here, that's all right. We can still talk about it. But that behavior cannot continue.
No.
There's a lot of violence in that marriage. You understand? There's a lot of cheating going on in that marriage. There's a lot of communication not happening in that marriage. You get?
Yeah.
So even the children. By the way, as you're airing this, there's children involved, you get? And they're there calling them names, okay? The law doesn't allow that. The law does not allow that. It's against the law. Even airing, and I think I mentioned to say, we are mentioning children's names. I'm not okay with that, okay? We are letting a guy on set trying to strangle the wife.
Oh,
I am not
was-
okay with that.
that was
You
bad.
understand? We are allowing a woman to be seen to be calm, and yet she's been
but then,
cheating.
it's a reality.
It's
so,
reality,
yeah.
but I think I first of all I protect children.
Okay.
In future, when you say those bad words and you say do, when they're mentioning the children's names, let's do that.
But
Because it's important to protect them.
okay.
It's traumatizing to children. So that's why I say the whole family, man, they must come.
now, continue on what he had actually asked. Guys, why is
I like how you always address the
why is it okay for you to father a child elsewhere and bring the child in the home? and expect your wife to raise that child?
He's
That's the
reading my
point.
question because I was going to come to that next. Bish, come on.
Talk to me.
All right.
I was going to get to the next point, right?
Yeah.
Because I know there are viewers out there and they're leaving their comments and they're going all wild to say, no, Collins should leave. Collins is actually a man. Collins should demand a DNA test. But what happens, the culture's already accepted women when a man brings in a child and say, hey, you know what happened 3 years ago? I was at the club, and then, so here's, 3, 4, 5 year old killed.
Remember what I said?
When it turns out to be a woman, you say, So it's okay for men to do such things.
Remember what I said to say, I saw the whole GBV Act come down. I still maintain. Because going by your question, culturally, women are expected to just handle a lot of, and I want to speak some French here, but I'm on set. They're expected to just deal with a lot of,
This
the words. Can you read it?
This comes back. This comes back
And
to what I said
culturally-
earlier on.
Yeah.
Men need to be taught as well.
Exactly.
Because they're taught to say,
I'll tell you.
You were just supposed
I'll
to
tell
do
you
this.
something that I
you
didn't
know what
do.
I mean? Women keep a lot of things
And that's why they
inside.
snap.
You see, there's a saying, I think, and kumba fyo mutenge. Veme vishtika mkati mwa nyumba stima viziba, muziba. Ni vambili. There's a child here. One man who were pregnant, 2, 3 women.
Yes.
They will expect a
And
woman
it's
not
okay
to go
for a
anywhere.
woman, yes.
To just sit there. They will even bring that same child in the house. Ukamtana kocha beti yo de mama mtana tia wakazi kono ipa mtima usie sana vomere mwana uja, you understand?
Yes.
But when it's a woman who brings in that child in the house,
It's a problem. So now, here's the thing. So I was saying, this is why women are so abused in our setups. Because culturally,
society,
we are expected to
culture.
just keep quiet. I remember the time I was being kitchen party young. I had my matron here. And they were saying things like, so this song they are singing, when your husband comes late in the night, don't say anything, put water in your mouth. I was like, I'm not gonna die because this nigga came late. I am not dying. I'm gonna choke on that water. Nigga, where did you come from? Sorry for the word. You know what I'm saying?
Where did you come from?
But they are there and they are teaching you all these things. Everything that, it's like every time he does something bad to you, shh. Every time he does something to you, but you're piling.
But you see, now I would say,
Anna-
vintu vachinja manje.
Yeah.
Vintu vachinja manje. This is why we're seeing this. A lot of women are cheating. Do you know what's leading to that?
What is it?
Vanyama tabachira muhule. Bamba kupunzisa.
Okay.
We both need to balance up. We both need
Don't listen to Eyelet on that one. There's no tit for tat. There's no tit for tat. Don't do it because he did it.
That's what's pushing
Okay,
women
listen.
to also
All right.
do bad things.
Coming to that, Helen did mention to say that she had
She
a
had
thing with
needs.
Niger,
She
and then
mentioned
she
something
said
like that.
because her husband doesn't,
busy.
he doesn't get her there. He's
Mona,
busy.
but
He
she
doesn't
did
get her
mention.
there. So now, is it justified? Because we usually hear this with men when your wife is not giving it to you, or they tell women if you're not giving it to your husband, then you're giving him a chance to get it out there, right? So now, what about men?
So go get
women.
it, man.
If men are not giving it to the woman as it should be, if the women are not getting there,
not getting it.
should women stray and find their needs met outside there?
May I chip in? So the thing is, no two wrongs make a right.
Yeah,
Let's start from there, all right? There's no excuse for cheating.
Okay.
I was speaking to a friend just 2 days ago and they said they're unhappy, they're this, they're that. I said, you're not a tree. You have 2 choices, to make it work or move. Yes. So give it your all to make it work. Okay, before you
Don't
have to
live
go
for
out.
society.
You understand?
Don't
And don't wait to, oh no, or oh no, he's trying. It's a good thing to try.
Right.
It's a good thing to try. Give it your all. Have a checklist. Did I do this? Did I do the introspect? You get? It's about changing you, not the other person. Do everything so that all umuntu akakufunza ati mwenze mnaenda kuma fasting imwe awe ma fasting tonight. Mwenze mnapa mwamba kuvala ulungu ndiye vafuna mna awe ulungu ninavala. Kampina siweza funa ulungu mnavula awe ninavula. Like everything. You
Oh
get
my goodness.
everything that you needed to do so that if you're going to walk, You don't think coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have
The
a whole
same
list.
advice is supposed to be given to men.
Exactly.
To
Just
the
not
men.
just say, iwe vala ulungu, iwe
Yes.
chitachani, iwe chitachani.
But the men
Let's
don't
tell
make
men
the
to
effort.
say cheating is bad.
Exactly.
Bish,
Now
what
let's-
effort do men need to make if they're lacking in that area?
Firstly, let us be able to accept that, Zambia is developing so fast. We're becoming very cosmopolitan. And so people are working hard. They're trying to earn an extra earning. And with it comes new challenges altogether. So when you're going through that, as much as the men expect the women to make an extra effort in looking good, cooking good, and being great super mothers, the men must also come back with game out of home.
Yes.
Where possible, help out in the kitchen.
Bring your game. Make some time. Create time for your family. Create time for your woman, and be able to know she needs your attention. I might as well shoot it right here. Among the many needs, you have spiritual needs, soul needs, and body needs, and so on. I might as well shoot it right here. Women love the affection, as one of the priority needs in her life. She needs affection, all right? The man, you'll be shocked, counselors, man's number one need is sex.
I like how you take a dip with it.
So,
we heard you.
quoting Dr. Miles Monroe, a man doesn't want sex, he needs sex, and so on and so forth. But you've got to come back and do some work home. Give attention to your woman. Work around, nurture your environment, whatever it takes to make it work. So, men, this gentleman, Collins Senior, I think that he didn't do a lot of good work. I don't know what happened, but when he comes home, he sees her as
He seems to
a
be
promiscuous
those type
woman, sees her as loose and all that. You are making her cold. She can't love you back. She's a multiplier. Whatever you do to her, she multiplies. Whatever you give to her, she just turns it over and gives it back to
You're
you.
quoting Monroe again. Let's go. Garbage in, garbage out.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And
So you
it's-
see what
and
type
it's-
of a man he is. He's one person, obviously, who just reaches home. Iwe, vakuta vitu kuti. Mwana sitachani. It's not a situation where you come home, hi mommy, how are you? How are the kids? Even in the night when the time for
That
sex.
occasion.
Take a deep breath.
it's easy for you to give
Yes,
in. Not
but-
from morning to evening. But you see,
But you see, and that's the problem.
don't work like that.
I spoke to somebody one day and I was like, the African, I don't know whether it's African or it's just men in general, because you feel sex is a need for you, you don't think we need to enjoy it. You get?
Okay.
Yes. Half the time is nabo hajapiribuka. Hello guys, mafuma kuita.
I hope men are watching this. So we're gonna take a short break, and I want you to keep leaving your comments. And my question to you, my viewers, is this: should men mandatorily take DNA tests for their children, whether they trust their wives or not? I want you to leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and we'll be right back right after this.
Yeah, I fuck Helen, every now and then. But then, just because I fuck her doesn't make me the father to those kids. No, they are not my kids.
Welcome back. You are watching the Divorce Club Aftermath, and I'm your host, Coach David. It's hot in here, and I'm loving the show. I have a new panel and amazing ladies, and they're on fire.
Right now.
I can see Bish is sweating.
They're on fire.
I actually thought Collins would be winning the show today, but
He's
no.
not
Wow. But now I see something happen in the episode. We see Collins bring in Helen's cousin. Is it Leon? Guy named Leon. And Leon is the one who provides Collins with the evidence of Helen's cheating. We talked about families before and families' interference in marriages. Now, if I mean, if you're married, right?
Yeah.
Would you
12
want
years,
your family
11
or your
years.
family members would you be okay with them telling you they saw your husband with somebody out there and the shenanigans going on? Would you be okay with that?
That's one thing I always say. Among win-win. When you see him, talk to him yourself. Tell him what he's doing is bad. You understand? Huh? When you see me doing bad things, talk to me.
Exactly.
Convince me and tell me to say,
Okay.
if you move and tell the other person, say, if somebody goes to my husband, my cousin, my sisters, go to my husband and say, oh, Mrs. K was doing this, and that. Mulo moyo.
It doesn't seem like they're protecting you.
No, they are not protecting me at all. But they can advise me. They can advise me.
You know, the current trend actually is the flip side of the coin, okay? She's giving a scenario where you actually have a cousin concerned. We have a lot of people tolerating nonsense.
Yeah.
You get? It's different from somebody telling you, if you mulechta, muleke. You get?
Muleke.
Yes. They'll be there. Sema. They even know the girlfriend. They even know where the girlfriend stays. You get? And then they're protecting nonsense. You understand? Not knowing that when the bow breaks, everybody falls.
Okay.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
We have so much of that nonsense going on. I remember one time I was with my elder brother, and he met his friend who was with the sister and the side chick in the car. And my brother marveled at the friend, like, you are blessed. You are with your wife and your side chick. My sisters would kill me.
He was with the wife and the side chick.
He was with the sister and the side chick.
And the side chick.
So I was with my brother, and my brother tells his friends, like, you're a blessed man. You can have your side chick and your young sister. My sisters would kill me. And my wife would be asking, why the hell did you kill your brother? We will not be telling her to just, we're dealing with business.
You're right.
Exactly. You understand? But a lot of families know so much that is going on and they are quiet.
But where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line between protection? I mean, they being there for you, so they're coming to tell you because they've seen, look, Mrs. K, I've been seeing your husband.
Firstly, if you've truly watched this one, there's a problem with Leon because he's brought the information not to help in that particular marriage.
No.
He has personal interest.
Exactly.
I don't know. In the episode that is coming with the next DNA, I can't wait to see that particular one.
Exactly.
All right, but he looks like he had some interest in that particular space.
Yeah.
He could have gone to the cousin and
exactly.
what you're doing is
should have
bad.
been talking to
Please,
the cousin.
marriage
But
like
he didn't
this,
mention that
marriage.
he's been talking to her about
He should have
it.
continued talking.
But talking to her at the same time and then deciding, I'm going to go. And tell your husband.
When you go home, remember what you did.
Yeah, snitching business. But you are very right.
At what point do we call it snitching? At what point do we call it it's too much?
There's a very thin line.
Yeah.
There's a very thin line, all right?
Take me to school. What's snitching there? Telling on somebody.
Yeah. You get it?
I hear you.
Yeah. So when you're snitching, is you know the truth, but you probably shouldn't be telling that person.
Exactly.
You should be dealing with the problem.
Exactly.
So I mean, I know people who you will actually tell to say, the next time I find you with a girlfriend, I'm gonna whoop you, and then your wife will ask you why. She could beat you up. And you have to explain to her.
Exactly.
You got to stop this nonsense.
All right.
You understand?
Okay.
Let's deal with the problem. And maybe it would have been important to warn them to say, the next time this is going to happen, I will bring it to the elders of the family and we'll deal with it.
There's that process too.
Okay?
You can engage someone else.
There's always a mediation that's supposed to happen.
But did you hear Colin's statement to say that she's manipulative with his family and they never seem to get anywhere? So was it justified to team up with a cousin, fish out the evidence, and really prove that she was doing wrong?
Listen, have Maru with in-laws, have the best possible relationship with in-laws without allowing them to undermine your marriage.
Exactly.
Repeat, have the best possible relationship with your in-laws without allowing them to undermine your marriage. There's got to be some boundaries.
Yes.
Leon was already crossing a lot of boundaries.
He crossed one too many boundaries.
And so by the time he's coming to tail on his cousin, it's all mixed up. His interest is in the wrong place.
Exactly. So I think if it was somebody else coming out of the picture without ulterior motive, with just the need to mend these two, it would have been a different story. Okay? But so anytime you're coming to tell, sometimes you find that you understand? Yeah, they're waiting for you to break up so they can get the guy.
Oh my word.
I'm telling you.
Within families?
Yeah.
That happens
You know, there are
within
family
families?
members who are jealous of how you live, how your
Exactly.
husband... Clearly, Collins gives money. From what I've seen, I take care of you. I buy everything for you. So, man, your family, wakambona tu umuntu
Ankala
bueno, ankala
Swambela bueno.
Maza mosakira tungono. Even those things that are supposed to be kept, families have got secrets.
So
Have you seen this to my
Things that are supposed
cousins?
to be
Just,
kept
you're
as a
sitting in like a
secret.
Peter Chap and Akata, like, what's that? Okay, that's amazing.
Oh my
Don't
word.
chase your cousins from home. Don't chase your cousins from home. But safe to say, it seems like families are not the best place to get help from in marriages. So far, it doesn't seem like it.
You know,
So-
we're not going to demonize families and marriages.
No, not to demonize them, but then it seems they are not the best place to get help from in marriages.
It is dangerous when you begin to involve family. The moment you bring family in, you are trading on dangerous ground.
Yeah.
There's
You are lovers, you will reconcile. But anything that has gone out to family
They
will
will
be
still
used
be
against you.
upset.
You know, I wanted to say there's a reason why when two people want to get married, when people want... I mean, usually when they're about to do their kitchen parties and weddings, they won't get your sister to say, "Oh, you mungeniseni munyumba mumulangis." They won't get your cousin. They'll get people from outside to come and help. Usually, sister wakapasa zafikizapo kupunzisa, or cousin wakapasa zafikizapo. That's the main reason why families sifunika maninku, especially when you're having problems. Don't say my sister, akabara sister wako. You end up insulting your thing,
Yeah,
your husband. At the end of the day, imona your husband, you get back.
So in conclusion, Siku, what legal help do such couples need from your line of work?
All right.
Because if we can't tell them to depend on their families for help, what legal help can they get?
So, social services offer a lot of counseling. All right?
For couples as well?
counseling.
Okay.
Yes, we also counsel children. Okay? So the law is there. It's just that people do not know that it's available. But I will tell you that the GBV Act actually encompasses both men and women. It's not just for women. It's gender-based violence. You understand? It happens to both men and women. And it also protects the children, okay? So for instance, in this same clip we had, there's so many of those laws that are broken. You understand? Yes.
Please do not arrest anyone.
I'm tempted. Yes, but you see, my appeal is that anytime you have a problem in the home and the family is not your go-to place, come seek social services, seek counseling from your church, and we take mental issues in Zambia very lightly. They're very serious, and help is there. You understand? You got Bitch here.
Right.
He's a counselor in his own right. You have Bana Chimbusas that are counselors in their own right, and I like that the Chimbusas now are going to change the narrative. You understand?
Right.
We need to deal with GBV issues from the onset before the marriage even begins, and train both men and women the same way. So seek help. There's counseling. Also, protect your children from these things. You understand? Yes, from all the trauma, the anger, and all that. Because again, social services sometimes, not and sometimes, most times, when there's a lot of toxicity in a family, they'll just grab those children. Okay, so that the two of you can continue fighting. When you're done, we're going to bring back the children. All right? I really don't want to just
There are such services in Zambia?
Exactly, and I don't want to be here representing my department because it's very tricky ground. They're going to cite me tomorrow, hey, what? But the thing is that please seek social services, all right?
Right.
And you need to know that anytime the law is broken, there's a place where you can go and get your justice, okay? GBV is wrong. Child protection issues are very key, all right?
Right.
And so children will be protected even from being mentioned on live TV. You understand?
Right.
Because if they're in a school, so you can just imagine how this show is going to pan out. I mean, the child we're talking about is it 12 or 13? Exactly. So even as we do this, we need to ensure that we protect the children. And that's why I was saying, I think I need to see this whole family. Please give them my number. I'm telling you the truth. They need to be counseled. The children need to be protected. Because remember that then they're going to be isolated. They are 3. Okay? So at some point, we will have to deal with issues of,
It's very tough.
yes, you're going to be isolated from the mother and father. So father and mother are fighting. But we need to deal with the children as well.
Right.
Okay, so please, help is there. Don't die in these marriages.
Yeah.
Okay, seek help. And anytime you feel something is wrong, speak about it.
Right.
Let's speak. Let's not die as women silently in our corners. Even men, I think Collins should have reached out
Right.
from the get-go instead of waiting to come to the divorce club. But I guess somebody needed to make money, right? That's my conclusion.
Tell me, as the youngest one at Chimbosa, what are your thoughts in how, from the cultural perspective, how these things can be sorted out? Should men and women be taught at the same time? Should more emphasis be placed on men in their lessons before marriage and during marriage, counseling issues?
Like I said in the beginning, the problems here are because we concentrate more on the women part. We concentrate more on teaching the bride. We forget to say, these people, the man and the woman, they'll be staying together. Why don't we also organize men as the groom side, organize people to teach the groom?
Totally.
And then pick a day when you bring both together, talk to them, teach them. There is no need to just teach the woman, like if the woman is the only person who's going to be in the marriage. The marriage is going to be for two people. So the best thing to do is to get both, teach them, tell them what to expect in their marriage, and not just leave it on one-sided. That's where you find a situation where the man will come here, shout at the woman will be quiet because the woman was taught to just keep quiet. In the end, they end up killing each other.
The wife to Leon was jumping.
Yes.
Because she kept quiet. She must have kept quiet at one point. You know, one thing I forgot to mention is that when a woman gets married, most of these ladies that I've seen, married, shan. Most of these girls that you see, back to change.
Oh my word. She's on the man.
You
were taught to say, no, when it comes late, just prepare food, do like abasambe first, maybe go chokera kulimadoti. You even prepare water. Kumusambikisa uja muntu wasambe, then prepare food for him. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you are taught to say ngataburareti, sit down with him. Ask him to say machokera kuti kambe hapa.
And I think Josies are the only ones that teach not to do that nonsense.
Really?
Oh,
Is it?
No.
Okay.
We even have a song. It says, Anivelekeri njaem. I don't work for another dog.
Whoa!
And I think maybe that's why divorce. And I think that's why maybe there's so many divorces in our culture. Because even as you are going, the song they'll teach you all that. But the song they'll send you with is, you have a home. If it doesn't work, come back home.
Oh, right.
And and he says, don't no. You came with your dirt, somehow you're tap. Go wash yourself. I'm not going to wash a dirt from another woman.
Wow.
So I think our lousy culture is...
I need to hear your counter on that one, because this just...
I am telling you, ask any lousy. We don't do that.
On the church side and the spiritual side, she's given the legal side, the cultural side, and from her point of view, her last one, how does the church come in? Do they come in, and how do they come in when it comes to solutions for such problems?
Church, listen, good churches will let you know. For instance, for the records, I'm a gazetted minister of marriage since 1999.
Okay.
And one of my demands for most couples that I do deal with is that I've got to have pre-marital counseling with you. My easiest part of the wedding is just those 30 minutes. By the way, my weddings don't last more than 1 hour. It must be 1 hour, we are out. All right? That's the easiest part. The hard part is the counseling. And when I do premarital counseling, I sit with both the couple, the young lady and the young man, going through everything from the introduction to marriage, what marriage constitutes, what marriage is not, two-sided secret of a need-satisfied marriage. I go down to problems in marriages. We actually close with intimacy in marriage, which is sex in marriage, and we deal with all that, all right? But as a church, we need to not only have pre-marital counseling, we should have marital counseling. And actually now I tell churches, you got to have post-marital counseling for the 3 Ds, whether it's a desertion, you've been deserted, divorce, or even death.
Yes.
All right, there's got to be post-marital counseling. So repeating that in this particular case, hey, listen, all of them need counseling.
Yes.
It's very hard, but even this marriage is able to survive. It looks like it looks like this guy loves the wife. Did you see them?
Did you see how he wrung her hand and was like, babe, he forgot that he was calling her name. And the minute said, oh, I want to cheat, babe. He forgot.
There is some love. He seemed to have accepted she had been promiscuous. I know the possibility of them staying together is near to impossible. But I believe that they can be counseled. And that guy, you don't have to be a biological father
to raise a child.
How do they just bring in kids? How wana damage ndani?
You can raise up those children. No DNA, I repeat.
Exactly. Let's
raise them up.
I wish I had enough time to hear your views. If you could raise another woman's child, and if you could raise another man's child.
I have.
But I'm out of time.
That's a topic for
But here's
another
my
day.
question to you again, my viewers. I mean, it's getting hot in here. Collins, it was supposed to be your day, but you need some help. But I'm looking forward to the next episode as we wait for the DNA results. And that's going to be airing the
Are
next
we
episode.
invited? We need to finish this.
You have to watch the next episode.
I can't stand the DNA one.
But
I'm not comment.
I still want you to leave the comments. Leave the comments.
Please leave a comment
What-
and ask for me to come.
What are your
I need
thoughts?
this.
What are your thoughts? Should men demand DNA tests after their children are born? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. You have been watching the Divorce Club Aftermath, and I'm your host, Coach David. Thank you for watching us. See you again next time.
Thanks, Coach David.
This episode of the Divorce Club Aftermath is brought to you by Rano.